Good evening, one and all. We have gathered here today for the book launch of The Secret Sauce is You, Being Your Own Mate. So, today I would like to invite, and amongst us, along with the author, we have a veteran, a multifaceted, a multi talented Ashish Vidyarthi. And it's not wrong if I add the title Sir Ashish Vidyarthi, because he's a national award winning actor who has worked in 11 languages across 200 and plus films. He has also reinvented himself successfully in an additional avatar of being a profile speaker and motivational interventionist. With his igniting talks and bespoke motivational workshops, he has impacted the lives of working professionals from over 200 organizations across the globe. He is also the co-founder of Ashish Vidyarthi and Associates. I would like to call upon screen Sir Ashish Vidyarthi. So, team, can I have
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. How are you, dear friends? Harshal, very happy to be here.
Namaste, sir, and welcome. A very good evening, and it's wonderful to have you, sir.
Swagat hai aap sabka. And Harshal, two very important reasons why I'm here. Okay, so I'll give the second reason first. The second reason is Crossword. I mean, Crossword for us in Bombay, it brought bookstores close to us. Earlier, the bookstores used to be, we had to travel some distance to reach a bookstore. Crossword brought it right next to us, and the wonderful ambience of. I remember my child going and just sitting there, plonking himself and reading reading his books there, and it was wonderful, a wonderful atmosphere. So that's my second reason why I'm here. I've got deep respect for what you people have been doing over the years. And the first reason is the author today. This author, the first-time author, Swati. She's the daughter of one of my favorite teachers in school, Mr. Chaurasia. And we lost him a few years back, but I have deepest regard for Mr. Chaurasia. And here I am, really proud of what Swati has created. So here I am.
Great, sir. It's pleasure to have you. And before we invite, I would like to talk something about the young author. So Swati Sharma was born and brought up in New Delhi, India. She lives in a den in Gurugram currently. Her parents had named her Abhilasha, which at the age of 3, because she didn't like the name, so she had changed it to Swati. And she carries her steel willed, not iron willed, because iron rusts. And didn't believe that both legacy and her lineage should be in the father's surname. So her father was much ahead of her time, and he said, "Why do you want to carry my surname? Why not instead carry your mother's surname?" So this gentleman who was really, really ahead of his time, and that's the reason Swati Sharma. So would like to call upon screen Swati Sharma, the young author, and for her debut book. So please give a huge, huge round of applause for Swati Sharma.
Hi everyone. Namaste.
Swagat.
Namaste everyone. Hi.
So happy, so very happy to see you, Swati. Very, very, very
Thank
happy
you.
to see you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you,
some
sir.
very
Thank you,
interesting comments already, coming, kind of popping up from people all over. They are coming in some beautiful, okay, wonderful. The people who have joined you from Italy, from Karimnagar, Telangana. So many different people are joining. I'm very, very, very happy. Yes, it's a tea time, and it's going to be an invigorating tea time, dear friends. And shall we begin?
So before you take the
Sure.
session forward, yeah. So today, Swati, all the best, and it's your day. You are launching the book, so it's like you are giving a life to a book, and we as bookstore we know what a book holds a value. Okay, so all the best, and we look forward for many more insightful talks. And thank you, Ashish. So once again, please continue the conversation, and we look forward for the great evening ahead. Thank you. I'll join soon.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Harshal.
Thank you so very much, Harshal. And swagat hai, Swati. I'm very, very happy that I can be here today. And I know right from up there, your dad is looking over you. I know how proud he is. And I'm so happy to see that so many people, Saudi Arabia, Tanzania, Gorakhpur, everywhere, people are coming here to give you your best
Mm,
wishes for your book.
thank you.
So, and the people from Chennai, all over. Okay, all right, fantastic. So this calls for an interesting thing. So we will be taking some questions from you, dear audience. All right. Yes, yes, many questions from the audience too, and I have certain questions to Swati. So to set the ball rolling, Swati, your first book. Tell me,
Yes.
how did it all begin?
Well, first of all, thank you, Ashish sir, for gracing this occasion, and thank you for agreeing to launch my book. But
If you
before I
don't mind,
begin, I
Swati,
want to.
can you just tilt down your camera because we are seeing it? Yes, so that we can see what. Yeah, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Now
I'm,
we can see you. Yes, thank you so much. Yes,
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. So before I begin, I want to share with everyone. I'd like to share something about Ashish sir. That we all know him as an exemplary actor, and now he's doing some great work with Avid Minor, and he is a life igniter and a motivational interventionist. But I also want to tell people, I want the world to know today that he is such a kind and a benevolent human being. And I'm saying this out of personal experience. And why I'm saying this is because, there comes a time in all of our lives when sometimes when people think, when they arrive in life, okay, they are at a stage wherein they go philanthropic and they help people. Fine. But then there are certain set of people who, when they are themselves struggling, help those who are struggling. And he is one of them. He has helped people throughout his life without letting anyone even an iota of an idea that he might be going through his own set of struggles. And I think that's the stature of a great human being. And that is why I'm extremely happy, sir, that you are launching my book. My book would not have received a bigger honor than this. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion and for agreeing to launch my book. Thank you so
Swati,
much.
this is your day, and really, I really want you to get this. Okay, so it's an absolute pleasure and honor for me to be here. Quickly tell me, what is it? I mean, how did this book begin? What's the
Okay.
genesis of this book?
The genesis is the journey is personal and it's quite painful as well.
Hmm.
I hit rock bottom when I lost my father, and this is when he was absolutely hale and hearty. And within 7 days, I lost him. And you can imagine he was my lifeline. So you can imagine what's a life without a lifeline. And as if this was not enough, my mother has undergone a kidney transplant, and my father had given the kidney.
The donor,
So,
yes.
yes. So, in fact, that is what I call is the epitome of love. And so, as if my father's death was not enough, just about in about 2 3 years, my mother's transplanted kidney gave in. It got rejected, and she was back on dialysis. And till date, she's on dialysis thrice a week, which is quite a painful process. And along with it, as if my dad was the pillar, and then this happened with my mother. All the pillars of my life, which is in my emotional state, mental, financial, spiritual, physical, all of them fell like a pack of cards, and I had this domino effect, quite a downward spiral in my life. And then I was one fine day sitting in my balcony. I'm somebody who's an introvert, and I was ruminating. I was thinking, and a thought came to my head, sir, that why are you born, Swati? Why are you born? And I think I really wish no one ever comes to this stage in life when you question the very creator that why are you born? Like I'm being honest here, I was so fed up with the adversities in my life. And that's when a voice came from within me that you cannot give up. And I was like, what are you saying? And that voice said, no, that you cannot give up. And I
Wow.
started having conversations with this voice from within me.
Hmm.
And this voice told me in a very stern tone, Swati, you can run, walk, crawl, you can cry, you can be angry, You can throw fits around, tantrums around, but one thing you will not do is give up. It put me onto the
Wow.
path of my direct karma. And then all I knew was my next karma, my next karma, my next karma, my next move, and my next move. And so I could transcend rock bottom by transmuting my adversities into wisdom. And then 3 years back, I read this study by World Health Organization that every 40 seconds, one person is committing suicide. And when I saw that, I was startled because at some point of time in my life, I've been there, and I'm glad I didn't do that, right? And that's when the universe gave me the answer that this is why you were born, Swati. And that's
Got
when
it.
I decided that I will write the recipe of the secret sauce of survival at rock bottom, and hence I wrote this book.
And that's such a powerful kind of, oh, that was hard hitting. I mean, even this description of it was so hard hitting. In fact, just to let you know, Swati, over this entire period, the way you have been communicating, your first email, your messages, each one of them are so lucid. They are an as lived experience, and therefore it brings me to, somewhere for me, what you have just shared and the title of your book, The Secret Sauce Is You. It kind of, it seems to me that this is not knowledge, this is not gyan, this is an as lived experience. And this is from where my next question stems. And please tell me about this. How important is going through pain for someone to create something which can be so personal?
Sir, it's, in my book, I have written a chapter called, the chapter's title is that pain brings out the best in you. I have dedicated a complete chapter called about this question of yours. And, and so I have also, when I realized that I want to write this book, it took me 3 years to write this book. For first 6 months, I did research. Yeah. For first 6 months, I did research in psychology, Greek philosophy, and quantum physics because I wanted my book to be backed by logic and science.
Hmm.
And so, if you look at small things in nature, when we are going upstairs, it's strenuous because we're going against the law of gravity. When we go to higher altitudes, it's difficult to breathe because the oxygen levels are low. When we swim upstream, it's difficult because we are going against the stream. So I want to say that nothing worthwhile is ever achieved in life without pain. And if you look at any gods, Jesus was crucified. Lord Ganesha, his own father, cut his head. Lord Shiva drank poison. Lord Hanuman, he was just a little child playing with sun, and he was given the space. So I think pain is so inevitable. And in my book, sir, there is a line that uh, your passion is your antidote to pain, and I think
Ah,
that's why this book came from me. This book became the antidote to my pain. But sir, herein I would like to know from you, sir. I have seen your journey. It's riveting. I would like to know from you. What do you think about pain and how pain has molded you into the rock star that you are today?
I don't know about the rock star bit, but one thing is quite clear. So I kind of realized very early in life that life doesn't exactly go according to the plan that you have. Okay, I've discovered that plan is something which we seem to think of it as in hindsight, and therefore, what attracts me towards life is how can we best negotiate it. Okay, and for me, if I create a conversation which eases, which makes this worthwhile, makes this journey worthwhile, that's what inspires me. All right. And something which struck me about your book, and especially that the terms that you have coined, some very very interesting terms, they're very inspiring because they for me, the experience of life has to be amazing. Just imagine if you have done something, you've worked so hard, you've kind of made your life miserable. Now, there is a difference between leading a miserable life and a life which has been challenging. Okay. And that distinction, when you really get that with passion, for me, passion is my balm. Okay, passion is something which I power through life.
Beautiful.
I discover, I create challenges. My challenges are there because I have passion. None of us will have challenges if we don't have the passion. Then we're just, getting up to sleep. And then we are sleeping to get up again. And then to again sleep till one day die. But if we really have something big up to us, that is where we create challenges. And so, therefore, this entire term of, and I will ask you about quite a few very interesting terms that you coined, and I love them. What is this own mate? Because what I understand by own mate is really that I have the companion, and that companion is with me. What say you, Swati?
Well, I was struck by something that, you know, there is a line in Hindi that it comes to my mind. It says that, मैं बाहर गया, and I'm speaking this in Hindi, yeah, कि मैं बाहर गया, मैं बिखर गया, मैं भीतर गया, मैं तर गया. And it's like कई बार हम कहते हैं ना कि जो खुद का नहीं हुआ वो किसी और का कैसे हो सकता है. Do we live by our own words? Like most of us want to hit the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning. How many of us do that? If we do not stay committed to our own words, to our own body, then how do we expect that someone else outside of us will stay committed to us? And the reason, sir, I have coined this term own mate is because, and I'm not averse to this idea of a soulmate. In fact, in my book, I have dedicated an entire chapter to love. In fact, if there is something which runs in the very veins of, in the blood of my book, it is love. It is the highest unconditional force in the universe. But all I'm saying is that before you find someone else, you've got to go inside yourself. You've got to go through this inward journey. Then whatever you find, good, bad, ugly, you've got to be, first of all, aware of it. You've got to accept yourself the way you are, just the way you are. Because when you accept yourself, the world accepts you. When you accept yourself, the world celebrates you. Just try once. And then you'll naturally fall in love with yourself. Now, if I am in love with myself, which means I'm filled with love, which means I'm brimming, and not just brimming, but I'm overflowing with love. Anybody who will come in contact with me, I will naturally, जिसे कहते हैं आप naturally वो प्यार छलकाओगे, and it will be so contagious that everyone around you will be happy and full of love, and it will create a ripple effect. And then those people around them, and then those people around them. So that's how I coined this term.
And just imagine you began your narration with a domino effect. All right. You began your narration that how you were at the effect of a domino effect. And what you are just now stating, you're inviting each one of us to be at the source of another domino effect, except that this time, this domino effect is spreading love. It begins with self-love. And I love that when you say that own mate, that if I do not love myself, if I do not accept myself, if I do not celebrate myself, imagine what can I expect from the world. And I loved when you turned it around and you said that when I love myself, when I celebrate myself, imagine how much of a celebration and love I am exuding. And isn't that such a powerful domino effect to create? So, it comes to when you asked me about the pain and stuff, it's so interesting that, through my life as I've moved, I've seen a lot of interesting challenges. And in a lot of interesting challenges, many of people were not good to me. One thing which I remembered is that once I reach somewhere, I will not behave that way. Okay, I'll make sure that there'll be something awesome about, what I'm going to do. And something struck me about your example when you said, I just want you to note, at one point you were at the effect of a domino effect, that everything around was crumbling. So in effect, in life, as you grew yourself, as you got connected with yourself and what you were committed in life, you did the opposite to the world. You created a powerful statement. Hey, listen, I will not go bitter by what life has thrown at me. I'll in fact add stuff and give it out to life. All right. So that's the very powerful thing that you create. And in fact, that's why I love this other term that you also used. It's kind of interesting. I want to hear this. You've spoken about the opposites theory. So, what is this
Yes.
opposites theory that you mentioned?
Yes. So, sir, this opposites to, and I, by the way, sir, this is just a moment of epiphany for me.
Hmm.
This analysis you just drew out of what I said about the domino effect that I had, which was, of course, excruciatingly painful and tragic. Uh, and you compared it with the ripple effect, which I talk about creating in the world. I think this is a moment of epiphany for me, and I never even realized it. Thank you for making me realize this just now. I think this could not have been an opportune time for me to realize that. Thank you for that. Coming to the opposites theory, well, so I think first I'm thinking that this is a best example. Domino effect, it was negative, and I created a ripple effect, which is ultra positive. But okay, so opposites theory is that I want everybody who's watching this today, I want you to think, and it is very simple logic. If you have a table in front of you, there is a top of the table, and naturally it has a base. If on a mountain there is a peak of the mountain, so there has to be a valley. If there is a pot of, say, cold milk, you heat it, it becomes hot, and then if you leave it for a while, it will become cold. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is that for a virtue to exist in place, its opposite needs to exist as well. So what I'm talking to the conclusion is that if any one of you is facing any crisis in your life, you have immense amount of pain, copious amount of pain in your life, things are not going right, believe you me, there is something extremely great for you in store, because that's the wheel of life. That has to happen. That's why rock bottom makes rock stars. And I'm so glad we have one such example today here, in
And
the
I know
form
you're
of
referring to yourself.
oh, no, no.
Yes, I really want you to get this. So this is amazing. You know what you just spoke about opposites. Consider one thing. What is it that you are resisting? Now, through my life, I mean, if you look at, there are certain opposites that I resist, and guess what? When I see it in the light of what you've just shared, a powerful thing comes up when we engage in such conversations. So for me, I am engaging in a conversation with you, Swati. The stuff that you've written, the person who you are. um, what interests me is that the ticking mind which is bringing it on. As we are sharing with one another, we are creating some self discoveries for each other and for people who may be watching it. All right. Now, consider for a moment, that is at the core, because when we take a pause and look again, something that's obvious, like tuck, it is like this. And then when we take a
Hmm.
pause and we look again, that is when the hidden, the stuff which probably lay dormant, which lay deep within,
Latent.
beneath, that comes
Yes.
out. And therefore, for me, I kind of also find this other term that you have used. I find that very interesting. I find that interesting because, again, I find a very inspired twist that you have put to the term emotionally challenged. Okay, typically, a
Yes.
lot of us use these terms, emotionally challenged, and I love it. So, would you like to share what is the twist that you bring to it? And I'll share with you something which occurs to me, please.
Sure, sure, sir. So, sir, we often have these terminologies, which, of course, I don't agree with those terms as well. We call people sometimes, we call them physically challenged or mentally challenged, and I'm so glad now they are called specially abled and not mentally challenged. But no one talks about the emotional, you know, sentiments. No one talks about that. Uh,
Mm.
because emotional wounds, unlike physical wounds, are always invisible, right?
Yep.
And the fact that we have such a high suicide rate, why is no one talking about it? Everyone's talking
Mm.
about the depletion of natural resources from the planet. Nobody is talking about a human who's depleting himself. That is so painful to know that. So I have coined this term that most of us, because I have been there, I know that most of us at times are emotionally challenged, and we need to from emotionally challenged, we need to become emotionally channeled. And what I mean by that is we are attuned to band-aid approach and to push things under the carpet. We say what I mean is that the wound is very deep, but we don't want to process our grief. We want to use band-aid approaches like, okay, let's go out for dinner. Okay, go meet a friend, go on a date, go for a holiday. Okay, get married, have kids, uh, get married again. you know but no one's talking about that. Okay, can I actually just be myself and get married to myself and know me for a change before I bring this another person in my life who I can add value to? Am I even am I my own mate before I can have somebody's another life in my life who I can call my soulmate? And now, sir, I'll request you to, you mentioned when you asked me that there is something that is on your mind about it. So would you like to
Yeah.
share with us?
So consider for a moment, Swati. For me, life is in movement. Okay, life isn't static, and what you very beautifully illustrated in your conversation thus far is that life is in movement. Life is not a static. Life is not a it is. Life is a continuation. It's a continuing. It is in living. It's not lived. It's in living. So when it's in living,
Beautiful.
one thing which is that I love it when we can apply things in our life. So, for example, if something has happened, uh, we can do nothing. We can do naught about it. That thing has happened,
Mm,
right? But what do we do thereafter? That is where our choice is. And for me, imagine what you just said is a very beautiful thing. What you shared is that we either say, no, I'm not hurt. All right.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
all right, where I am. So I put a band-aid of,
Mm,
how are you? Yeah, I just took a shower and now I'm feeling great. Oh, okay, let's go and party. And I'm like wearing a new dress and I'm great. Okay, so now again, band-aid, or what is the facade, the veneer. Now imagine if I can accept and acknowledge that that thing has impacted me, that thing has affected me. Thereafter, if I can channelize my reaction, because there is going to be reaction. Let's face it, Swati, and each one of us who's listening in today, is it not true that you have been hurt? Is it not true that you may have felt that you have been treated unfairly? Isn't it true that you have
mm,
felt you have not gotten your dues? Either one of them. Now, that's up for debate. All right. But consider, forget the debate. If you can just stay with that tinge, which
mm.
bothers you. And for me, as an actor, as a creator, as a human being, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, as a traveler, for me, the tinge is important. That tinge, makes me say, "Hey, listen, I got to do something about it." Now, what do you do about it? That tinge, that pain is what I understand is emotionally channeled. What do I do with that thing?
Mm.
Do I get angry? Do I get upset? I am just upset, or do I do something creative? Because this is,
Yes.
it creates a very again, I come back to that imagery of yours, from being at the effect of a domino to being at the source of a ripple. So what do I channelize my emotional state? So one thing, and again, I just want to take a moment. I want to take a moment. If we can just play out some of we getting some amazing comments and are there. So Shubham says, your book helps people grow out of conventional molds and discover themselves. Fantastic. We saw quite a few comments. Can we just play them again? Somebody talked of your comment about being from a emotionally down to a rock star. They loved it.
Oh,
Shubham Raj Teotia is mentioning that. Madhvi Upadhyay says, how well explained, Swati. Wonderful. Shalini Sharma is saying, each reply is so well explained. Beneath Bhatt saying, rock bottom makes rock stars. They are loving it. All right. So I'm really feeling so really proud. It's going to get saucier, Beneath Bhatt. You bet. You bet it's going to
sounds
get
nice.
saucier. Yeah, fantastic. So we're going to go, yes, Praveen Roy, love myself, such an important aspect of life. Very well coined. So, I mean, at this point, when we are saying, nicely explained, Ramesh Upadhyay says, thought process and put yourself in black and white. Philosophy works on self realization, live long and
Wow.
go on in such. Absolutely. I mean, that's what's interesting. For me, philosophy is sometimes we throw it out because we think it's bookish. But when we can apply it, acha, Madhvi Upadhyay, is she a sister by any chance?
Yes, she's my eldest sister. Yes, and
Oh,
I think
oh. So, ma'am, you're there. Your mother is also there watching. Namaskar. I'm so very happy. I'm so very happy, ma'am. I remember I used to come and meet the entire family. So I used to live in Lakshmi Nagar, and Bank Enclave was close by, and you people used to live there. Priyadarshini Vihar, if I'm not mistaken.
at
And
that
I've
point,
come,
yeah, yes, yes.
yes, I have come quite a few times in the evening and had, I think, Horlicks or tea or something, biscuits at your place. And Mr. Chaurasia was, ma'am, आपको सादर प्रणाम, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, मैं कभी मिलूंगा भी आपसे. So, okay, Arhan is saying, please take my name. Okay, your name's been taken. So wonderful. So here is something. Okay, here I want you to really get what is in this entire thing. When all those things were happening, did you ever imagine? Did you ever imagine, Swati, that you will be able to create something amazing when you were in the midst of that horrible feeling of yours? What gave you hope that you could create something amazing?
So first, I couldn't imagine that I'll create this. But yes, the only thing that you said kept me going was this voice inside of me, which who I have called as my own mate. So today I have my own mate inside of me. And she is my guiding light, my lighthouse, just as how Lord Krishna was to
Mm,
Arjun in Mahabharata.
mm,
Because I think I would not have been alive today had this voice from inside of me would not have guided me.
mm.
And I'd like to believe that at certain stage in life you get trust issues. So I even not and you get trust issues not only with people externally but also from people within you.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, even this voice I could not trust. So she was really smart. This voice, she knew how to acquaint with me, and very soon I got acquainted with it, and ultimately I knew that she is. Now in hindsight today I know that that's the voice of my soul. And so there's a line in my book which says that the voice of your soul is the umbilical cord with the cosmos, and that's so true.
Very, very interesting. Let me share something very interesting in this. And why I even asked this question. Beautiful. I loved it. The voice of your soul is your umbilical cord with the cosmos.
With the cosmos.
Consider for a moment when we are in it, we can't sense it. We can do nothing about it. It's like when I'm wet, wet is the world. I do not know what dryness could be. It's like when you're wet, it's like that. When I'm in it, when we are in it, it's very difficult to imagine world to be otherwise. And this is something which I would love to share with all of us who are listening. And I get a sense of it from your work also. Deepthi
Yes.
Chako Bagheera says, I'm getting goosebumps. So consider for a moment, there was this beautiful film called Hugo, Swati. And in Hugo, it is a story of a giant clock. And a giant clock, imagine a mechanical clock with a number of levers, springs, and stuff going round and circles and all those things happening. And in that film they write that many a times that each one of us may feel that my life is not worth it, I don't matter. Okay, it begins with I don't matter to myself, I don't matter to anyone in the world. At that point, it's just me who's saying that. It's not somebody else, this is me who's saying that. And in Hugo, they mentioned something. Can you override it? And something which I've used often in my life, and I have used it.
Mm, mm.
I have told myself, carte blanche, one thing: as long as I am alive, I have a reason to be. I may not have.
Beautiful.
I may not be looking. I may not be finding at this moment. I may not be articulating it at this moment. But let's keep looking. If I am alive, if I have been born by chance, remember, I've been born by chance. I'm still alive by chance. And if these two by chance things are there, then there is a reason why I'm alive. And therefore, like in Hugo, each smallest of the parts. Without that, the giant clock won't work. So when each one of us
Wow.
can actually source ourselves, source our existence, even when the other voices, even in our head, are saying that no, 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 it's not possible, kuch fayda nahi hai, there's no point in continuing. Remember, the very fact that you are breathing out and breathing in means that there is a reason to live, and therefore, listen to that voice, which is honoring
Yes.
the commitment that you and I have to live, even though we cannot probably see it at that point. Yeah. And Neil
Beautiful.
Bookstores says something. Discovering oneself is a tough task. It takes years to do that. It takes years, and people are unable to find the reason of existence. Yeah, Neil. Yeah, and the reason of
Beautiful.
existence is the very fact that we are alive. That is the reason, and we're going to do something amazing in the reason, right? So,
Yes.
Swati, Arey wah, thank you, Mark. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. So I will at this point want to go into a rapid fire with you. Are you ready for a
Oh
rapid
my
fire?
God. I
This
love,
this
I mean,
is
like,
interesting. Just to let you know, I hate rapid fires, but I've noticed
oh
that
my,
whenever I've given it to, okay, I love that question, Rajita Bhatnagar. Can we just
what was
have that?
that?
I would love that. I want your reaction to that. We often spend much time thinking about our fears. That feeling becomes bigger than our fear itself. Beautifully put. The way to get started then is to quit thinking and begin doing and taking action. Some action. What do you say to that,
So,
Swati?
yeah, that's a very beautiful thing that you've said, Rajita Bhatnagar. So, I want to tell you this fear thing that you're saying. So, you know what, Rajita, very interesting thing happens when you hit rock bottom. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing with you. So, what happens is, when do you become astoundingly fearless in life? You have nothing to lose. You know why I became astoundingly fearless? And now I mean, of course, I think it's now become my DNA. The reason you become astoundingly fearless, all your fears vanish away. Because when you hit
Wow.
rock bottom, you have nothing. So you have nothing to lose. So I had nothing to lose. And today, now it's wired in my DNA. I'm like completely fearless. Yeah.
And just as I go into the other part, I just want to point out one more thing to everybody. Just like Swati is saying that it's wired into her DNA, I'll add another thing. It's very important to keep enriching this DNA, to keep engaging in conversations of positivity, keep engaging in conversations with
Yes.
others, so as to because otherwise the other conversations will take over. All right. So be in that conversation. Okay. Now quickly we'll go into the rapid fire.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Swati Sharma, are you ready for it? So,
Well,
one word,
yeah. Okay.
one word that describes your book, The Secret Sauce, is you being your own mate. The one word that
Wisdom.
describes
Wisdom.
you. Okay, wisdom. All right, interesting, interesting. Okay, then what is wisdom as for you?
Okay. As per me, wisdom is that I know nothing. I know nothing. Like I'm a
Okay,
lifelong learner, and I know that I still don't know nothing. That I still know nothing.
got
I
it.
know it. Mm.
I'm clear about it. It's not मैं किसी गलत फहमी में नहीं हूँ कि मैं अब now I'm an author. Now I know it.
No, no.
Got it. Fantastic. Great. Uh, one word that describes you.
Paradox. Because
Life
I
is,
keep evolving.
life
Life
is,
is beautiful. It's beautiful.
love is.
Everything. Everything.
One word you will describe your life as.
So can I use two? Uh, can I use two words, please? Thank you. Thank you. So, two words which I often think describe my life is they're magical and miraculous. Yeah.
M&M.
Yeah.
M and M. I love this.
M&M.
Magical
M&M.
and miraculous. Love it. Love it. Your biggest strength.
My mental faculties, my mental strength. Yeah.
Got it. One piece of advice that you would like to give other women.
Um, be financially independent. I'd like all women who are watching this today all across the world to know that please be financially independent. Uh, and why I'm saying this is because uh, there are two reasons for it. One is you lead a life of dignity and grace, and secondly, you lead your life out of your wants and not your needs. You will uh, you will you will love a man for him and not for what he brings to the table. And I think that's the relationship between equals. So please be financially independent. Yeah.
Can you pick one piece of advice for Ben?
Oh, for men, uh, I'd like to say that be vulnerable. It'll have great payoffs, not just for your relationships, personally or professionally, but also for yourself. You will be very peaceful and happy.
One thing that's non-negotiable for you in a relationship.
Oh, respect. Absolutely. Respect. I think respect is a bedrock of any relationship.
Interesting. Interesting. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
what's
Hmm.
your definition of success?
Okay, my definition of success, I think it's there are two definitions that I have. Can I give two, sir?
Please.
Okay, so I think the day you are truly proud of yourself,
Hmm.
the day you are proud of yourself, not the world, not anyone outside of you, the
Hmm.
day you are truly proud of yourself is what my definition of success is. That is one. And second thing is when you can bear yours. Though in my book I've written that there is nothing called as failures; it's just lessons. But still, if even if the world still wants to call it a failure, the day you can flaunt your failures like a badge of honor and like literally flaunt them, I think you're truly successful.
Amazing. In effect, what you just
Thank you.
shared, a couple of very uh, promising things which I take away. And one thing, if I may just share that,
Please.
when you talked of when you said that one thing which is non-negotiable, and when you said respect, and a key part of that respect, typically people think that non-negotiable part is that somebody will respect me. Imagine,
Mm.
Swati, if you can get, and if we all can get, if we can have respect for ourselves in any relationship,
Beautiful.
okay? And I have noticed that when we actually hit rock bottom, that respect that we have for ourselves
Mm.
has diminished at that
Yes.
point.
Yes.
And for me, therefore, and it directly connects also with my definition of success, is that, you know, what for someone could be rock bottom in terms of finance or whatever situation, for somebody else that's way high up, they don't even have that, what is considered rock bottom for someone. But what is critical is that at any point for any one of us, if our respect for ourselves never diminishes, and if you look at your parents, if I look at my parents,
Mm.
who others may not know of, consider they've always lived their life with dignity.
Oh, yes.
All right, so they may not have been feted in such a way or anything, but they lived their life with dignity. They had respect for themselves. And one of the ways that we
Yes.
lose respect many a times is that we start comparing our position with somebody else's. So we diminish.
Mm. Mm.
For me, that success is if you can really exhale and inhale your oxygen the way you want to.
Wow.
rather than saying that I should have had that oxygen or exhaled that carbon dioxide. I am inhaling my oxygen and I'm exhaling my one. So every work that we do, everything that emanates from us, I'm proud of it. And imagine, I got this from you,
Are?
that when you can have deep respect for what you did. So even though someone else is saying, not good, yeah, could have been better, I got it, but this is me at this point and I'm moving. All right. So, so at this point, I think
Wow.
without much further
Oh,
ado,
yes.
I have to do this. I'm so excited. I am so
Oh, my
excited
God.
that I will use a pair of scissors. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just uh, launching Swati's inaugural book. She is debuting as an author, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you the. Hey, listen, is it possible? Maybe, see, they have sent me this. Maybe some other book is there in it. Maybe. Who knows, right? It's a pact हुआ
Dilbert's
ना.
principle.
Publisher says, अरे book, अरे गलत book भेजा क्या? Let's find out, huh? Let's find out. You tell me if it's your book, okay? All right.
That
So
is, sir.
let so we're just ripping open the cross. I love the crossword package. I always I think it's your book. We've gotten it right because I can see your face here.
God.
It's my absolute pleasure to release The Secret Sauce is You, being your own mate. Written by Swati Sharma. This is
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm back in my bag.
To dad in heaven, to mom on earth, and you both in my blood. Wow, 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 wow. You both are and will always be not just my bloodline, but my lifeline. This book is an ode to your tenacity, sincerity, and your eternal, unconditional, and all powerful, infinite love for each other and me. Mom and Dad, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for showing me what real love is. Love you both to Pluto and back. So, what if Pluto has been dropped as a planet? Ah, love it. And a special note of gratitude to the power of infinity, to my man friend, the universe. Thank you for watching my back. Thank you for bringing my purpose in life to fruition. Swati Sharma, I am honored to release your book. Really honored in front of this august audience. Please share what is it that you're feeling right now.
As I want to share that I never really had any, I'm a very simple girl. I never really had any big dream. And also when I discovered my calling and all that, what happened with me, there was just one simple thing that I wanted. Uh, and it came from within me that I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And everybody, my tribe, people very closest to me, and every time I used to be, 90% of my conversations were about this book. ये भी नहीं था that I want to publish it or launch it, but I want to write a book. I want to write this book. And that's why it took me 3 years, because 1 year I edited, for 1 year I ruthlessly kept on, 1 year I wrote it, 1 year I ruthlessly kept on editing it, because I'm very critical of myself. I was, so I'm learning to be more kind to me. And so this is like, you know, this moment is, I think, sir, they say that when we die, in front of our eyes, there is a flashback of all the most momentous moments in our lives. I think this moment is going to be that time, that one I think it is going to take the maximum seconds in that reel. When I die, this moment will be there as a flashback. So thank you for launching my book and releasing my book. Thank you.
So, Swati, here is a thought which just came to my mind. This moment is more than this moment. This moment is an interesting milestone of your life. This moment is a logical extension of what all you have gone through in life. For me, when we have moments like this, it makes me embrace those things too, which I did not like, because they are indelibly part of this moment. So, as each one of us who are watching this and who are, yes, Mohammad Afaq, you're there, Ayush Trivedi, you're there, Ayushi Agarwal, you're there, and so Venkatesh Ram are there. So many people who are there. In the midst of all these people, today, each one of us is celebrating. There's so many things that have happened in our life. So many things, some of them we liked, some of them we didn't. But we realize that how will it be if we can actually embrace and include each one of those moments and emotionally channelize them into something so precious as this. So I don't know if anybody's taking a screenshot, but I would love you all to take a screenshot of this moment wherever you are.
Yes, please.
Because
Yeah,
for
and
me,
yeah,
it's a precious moment. This is truly a precious moment, and I'm very happy that and honored that each one of us has taken time. Each one of us has taken time to be here on this happy occasion for another human being. Uh, in this entire period, a lot of things have happened, and people are upset and hurt and maimed.
yes.
As we celebrate a victory, we are actually letting a part of us know that victory is never far from us. We just have to keep walking towards it. Your final words, Swati, and then we'll invite Harshil over. And we're hearing a lot
Sure,
of Rita Fernandez Perasa writes, congratulations, Swati. Wishing you great success ahead. Love your spirit. You're amazing and so very bubbly. Love and blessings. Wow. Thank you, Teresa.
thank you, Teresa. Thank you. There was one comment. Yeah, this comment from Mark Bradbury.
Hmm.
Uh, it says the serving in the Australian Defence Force, suffering from PTSD, so hitting the verge of hopelessness and despair in my lowest self. I've already tried to end my life, feeling you are worthless and I wasn't needed, so I hang myself unsuccessfully. I'm glad, Mark, that was unsuccessful. That I want to tell you, Mark. First of all, I want you to definitely. I don't say this, and I never thought that I'll say this, but I definitely want you to grab the secret sauce is you. I want you to know that today I'm saying it live. I want you to know that you matter. And like as Ashish sir said, jab tak, from till the time that you are breathing in and breathing out, there is a reason why you are here, Mark. And you will never let any of that such thought come to your head again. You will not give up. You are a rock star. And the fact that you are sharing it openly here, it takes a lot of strength to do that, Mark. You will not give up, ever, ever. You will just not give up. And I want you to be the light of hope, in fact, in other people's life one day. Big hug to you, Mark Bradbury. Yeah. So, would you like to say something to Mark? I would request you to
You
please
said
say
it.
something to Mark.
You said it. Not just Mark, everyone. Just please get it. Including me, including you, each one of us, we go through stuff. Really, it seems unsurmountable. You feel like it's the end. The very fact that you're around your friend, there's something else. As we say in Hindi, picture abhi baki hai. There's still the second half left in our life, dear
Yeah.
friend. Okay, so please get that. Everything at the PTSD is a diagnosis that has you've been diagnosed with that. Got it. But what you do with it is up to you, my friend. All right. So
Beautiful.
please write the victory story. I promise you, a victory story after PTSD is what the world needs. A victory story after that. People need a victory story after the stuff that Swati went through. People need to hear victory stories. So even as Swati has written this book, each one of us is the author of our life. So they may have diagnosed us with whatever. Let's give each other hope. Let's engage in conversations in which we can take people further ahead and make them realize that the second half, the rest of the film, the rest of the life is going to be written by us, in spite of what we have been diagnosed with. So, thank
Yes,
you, Swati. Yes.
I just like to thank. So, definitely, I want to say some thanks to, some key people in my life. First of all, sir, in my book, in acknowledgements wherein people thank people. I have thanked, I have written in acknowledgements, I've written that I've just written two words. There are three actually. I'll tell you the third one as well. It says, Mr. Past and Miss Adversity. And of course, my own mate, my inner voice, because of whom I'm alive today. And why I said Mr. Past and Miss Adversity is because I am right now here because of my past. My past made me, and I want the world to know this, that embrace your past. You are what who you are because of your past, and I'm mighty proud of my past. And miss adversity, I had said, I strongly believe that adversity is the best university, and this book is exactly that university. And one interesting thing is that nothing reveals your character than adversity. Only adversity is the real test of your character.
Nothing. Yes, I get that. Nothing does it better than adversity. Okay, even your
Yes,
candor as well as your character. Everything. And how do you manage to do it? This is
absolutely,
awesome. And we are getting some amazing
absolutely.
comments. Ashok Goswami writes, Mark Bradbury, great, keep it up. All right. PJ
Yes,
Sridharan says, each one of us is the author of life. Yes, yes, my friend, each one. And let's
thank you.
let's
Oh,
actually start authoring ourselves and really be at the source of it. I would love
I
you to kind of have a mention of your publisher and Crossword,
yes,
whatever you want
yes.
to say to that, please.
Yes, and I also, yes, before I come to that, I want to thank my roots, my father, definitely, because of, I think, if I say, actually, he's the real seed or the genesis of this book. So, and I know there are celebrations happening in heaven today, and I strongly feel that he very meticulously orchestrates each moment in my life. In fact, he's the one who also ensures that who comes in my life and who goes out of my life. And thank you, Dad. Big hug. And thanks to my mother. Sir, she has been at the receiving end of, how many times I changed the title and etc. and whatnot. Mama, I am sorry if I've made any mistakes, and I love you. And thank you so much. Aapko shat shat pranam. And thank you so, so, so very much. I love you. Thank you for bringing me to this world. And my sisters, Madhvi Didi, Shalini Didi, they are both my wings, right and left. And my brother-in-laws, Shashank Jiju and Manish Jiju, they both are the wind beneath these wings. And the Bacha party, Divya, Ananya, Chetan, and Pari, Ananya and Ansh, and all my friends. Now you all know why I always said no to those parties and late nights and etc. etc. I hope you now know that it was my passion, which is an antidote to your pain. I was dealing with that and hence creating this. All my friends and tribe who have always been with me, thank you so much. All the organizations I worked with, both educational and professional, thank you everyone who's understood me and understood my silence as well. And also, last but not the least, I want to thank all those who said no to me, all those who did not help me, all those who shut the door for me, because that works as fuel for me. So thank you for the fuel. At rock bottom, your naysayers add fuel. So I get really fueled up. Someone has to say no to me, and my intent and resolve to do something becomes 100 times. So thank you for the fuel. And I also want to thank the universe, my man friend. I don't call him my boyfriend, I call him my man friend for watching my back. And last but not the least, I know I'm saying it again, this home, I call it Swaraj. It's an eponym, sir, from my name, SWA, and RAJ from dad's name. This house has been a silent spectator of my journey from being a wax statue into a gilded crucible that I am today. And thank you so much for gracing this occasion, for being a part of the most memorable moment of my life. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching it.
Thank you, everybody. Let's try it on, and I would just like to bring Harshal. I would like to come back in, and then we wrap up the conversation. Harshal, are you there?
So good evening. It was wonderful to hear the stalwart Ashish sir and Swati. You were, as you rightly said, rock bottoms make rock stars. So really, you proved it, and all the people who are watching it, and hearty congratulations. And we, being Crossword, we are really proud, to be actually part of the most wonderful occasion or a moment of your life. So that's it, and thank you, Ashish sir, once again for gracing the occasion. Yes, Swati,
Harshal, sorry, I forgot to thank Crossword. I'm sorry, forgot to thank Crossword, and I want to thank my publisher, Invincible, Ajay, Sagar, and the entire team at
The
Invincible
invisible
for
team.
keeping up with the
yes.
professional, the perfectionist streak in me. Thank you for keeping up to that. So, thank you, Invincible and Crossword, Harshal, Shreya, Divya, Sir's team, Ashish Sir's team. They have been so, Manju ma'am, Divya, and of course, Sir, who is the Sutradhar, or I would say the Krishna of this event.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Swati Sharma. Thank you. This book is out there
Thank
right
you.
now. It's on sale, and where all can people, they can get it from Crossword, right? Fantastic. Go
Crossword,
over to Crossword and pick up your copy.
also
Amazon
available on
as well.
Crossword. Yeah.
All the Amazon. Fantastic. Congratulations, Invincible. Congratulations, Crossword. Congratulations, the debutant author. बहुत बहुत मुबारक आप सबको. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
of you
you.
who have
And
come in to watch